Hey everyone, Matt from Doctors of Running doing a quick Q&A on the Adidas Ultraboost 21. We just got these. A big thank you to Running Warehouse we partner with for sending us these. I am a big Adidas fan, even though I've had some reviews that maybe weren't the most positive in the past, so I was actually very excited to try these. I have never run in an Ultraboost. I've walked in previous versions. I've told people who were wearing them for running to maybe think about something else. This is the first time that I've really tried an Ultraboost and went, wow, I can really run in these. They are very heavy. At least when you're walking. I have to admit that I think Adidas did a great job with the design, as it does not feel nearly as heavy when you're running. Walking, yeah. Holding them, yeah. So my size 10 comes in at 13.5 ounces, which I think that's the heaviest shoe I've ever run in. However, I have to say, of the couple runs I've done in these, I've actually done 2 fartleks in these, and it did pretty well. So to answer the question that people are asking, like, how does Adidas justify the weight in this shoe? There's a ton of boost. The torsion system works really well. Like, I've comfortably used this for some decent fartleks. Again, it's not the lightest shoe. It's not something I would ever race in, but if I want some cushion, but then I'm like, hey, I want to maybe pick the pace up a little bit, it's a pretty stiff sole, and it does respond really well when you learn how to use it to running a little up tempo. So they do get away with it. They do a great job. Landing up front feels a lot better. The heel, despite all the cushioning back here, is the whole shoe is stiff breaking in, but the heel is pretty stiff and takes a while to break in. So for those of you that are landing heel toe like myself usually, this does not feel as comfortable warming up in. Once you pick up the pace and you transition and land a little farther forward, it's not as bad, but this is definitely a little clunky back here. But this forefoot is great. It's got some pop to it. It's a little firmer. It takes a run or two for this to break in a little bit, but definitely a little firmer forefoot. Again, there's a ton of boost here, but it's firm and responsive with a lot of firmer cush back in the heel. The upper is great. It does fit about a half size small-ish, so I will be probably sending these to David unless he gets a pair. Prime knit upper, I haven't worn these in a while. The last time I wore this was for the prime knit version of the Takumi Sen, which is still one of my favorite racing shoes. Just haven't got one of the new ones yet. But yeah, definitely a little snugger fit, but plenty of room up front. The toe box is super low though, so be careful about that. I have had some blisters doing slightly longer runs up here. There is a toe guard. It's not super aggressive, but it's enough, and the toe box is low enough that if you have a little higher volume foot, you might get some blistering here just based on how low the volume is. So blisters haven't been too bad, just definitely some hot spots, not becoming fully blisters, but not bad. These do lock down pretty well. I've turned and haven't had too much issue. There isn't a last lace hole, so those of you who want that extra secure fit, you're not going to get it. However, the heel counter is pretty locked in, almost to the point of being uncomfortably tight, so definitely a snugger heel. But again, no issues because heel counter doesn't go in that rear foot portion, so my feet have been fine. It's just this is really stiff and it locks you in very well, almost too well. So definitely interesting shoe, the heaviest shoe I've ever run in. But again, most of the runs I've done in these, 2 of the 4 so far, have had a fartlek in it, so have had some intervals in it, so it can move, and I've been impressed pulling it down to 5:30 pace, which is pretty good for me with the shape I'm in right now. So yeah, also just looks cool. I love the neon yellow. They did a great job colorway wise, which they usually do with the Ultraboost. But yeah, this torsion system, I love it when they extend this in the forefoot. It's great. I love that pop. That's something I like, and it's actually really stable. So if you have a lot of excess motion, it's probably not the best, but how wide this stuff is, the lockdown in the heel counter, this is probably border a mild stability shoe. So those who are sensitive to that, be aware that this heel counter locks you in very aggressively. So people that are sensitive to that may not like it, but the forefoot, the torsion system here, as well as the width, makes it very stable. So I haven't had any issues at all, and it's very comfortable, as I typically need a little bit more mild to moderate stability. But yeah, this is a running shoe. I can confirm that they did a great job with this shoe. It's not a casual shoe. It could be for some people, but it's pretty aggressive. And I think for a lot of people, this is gonna work well for someone who goes, hey, I want a lot of cush. I don't want it to be unbearably soft, but I also want something that can, if I put my mind to it, like pick up the pace a little bit, which I didn't expect in a 13.5-ounce shoe. So I'm so far impressed. Got to get some more miles on it first. We got to send it. I'm going to send it to David unless he gets a pair. But yeah, really excited to review this one. But dang, this thing is stiff. It's really stiff. So yeah, it's interesting. Also, for those of you, there's a good amount of toe spring. Those of you might see an article in a fairly well-known magazine soon for me. Be aware that it's aggressive enough that your toes are held in a little bit of extension. So yeah, the toe spring's pretty aggressive. It rolls really nicely off the front, especially when you pick the pace up. But just know that you better have good toe motion here. So it hasn't caused me any issues, just a little bit of chafing or hot spots right here. But yeah, overall, really, I'm pretty impressed so far. So excited. We'll get you a full review coming up soon. Hopefully it'll be a multiple tester review. But yeah, this is the Ultraboost 21, and I am proud to say, I'm excited to say this is a running shoe. It's heavy, but it is a running shoe.